how do you get that into there? Stay tuned, I'm going to show you a really easy way to do it. So this is what you're going to need to do it. Obviously your tank, this is what comes in the little packet that's usually inside your tank. This is all obsolete at the minute because that's for attaching your tank to whatever you're going to attach it to, so you don't need any of that. That's your connector. Now, depending on which way up you're going to have your tank, and that's going to determine which of these you go into. The problem with these tanks, and what I don't like about these tanks, is you've either got to go into the bottom, which isn't great because then you collect all your crap at the bottom of the tank. So that means that anything that's sitting at the bottom is going to go down and clog your fuel filter up a lot quicker than normal. Or you can go into this side, but that means that all of this tank, this part of the tank is redundant, so you're never going to use that fuel there. So it is a bit of a 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. I don't really like these tanks and I would usually change them if I could, but if you're working obviously on a budget and you don't want to be going out now and buying another tank, you're going to be using this. So with those two things in mind, decide where you want to put your thing. You're going to need a 6.5mm drill bit to drill this out, so we'll do that now. Tap any bits out and rinse that tank out if you think you've got a lot of swarf in there, so make sure that's clean. You don't want any bits of stuff in there. Before you actually thread it through the tank, what you want to do is get your connector and put that in and just thread it from this side where you've got a good fix there and you can get a good handle on it. If you thread it through all the way through from this side, it's going to put some thread into that plastic. So that's going to make it easier for you when it comes down to threading it from the other side. And here's where the magic happens. Some people say that using welding wire is a really good way to do this. The way I'm going to show you how to do it is with a piece of string or cotton, because everybody has got string or cotton lying about. We're going to be using just a thin string. The first thing you want to do before you mess about is make sure that your string fits through there. All right? If it doesn't, it's going to be useless after the next step. So the welding wire trick does work a bit better because of its rigidity, but I'll show you how you're going to do this with a piece of string or a piece of cotton. Look at my lovely mug while I'm doing it, just for a better camera angle. So basically what we're going to do is starting at the small hole, because that's obviously going to be the hardest one to get through when you're just dangling a bit of cotton about. You're going to feed that into there, and then all you need to do is wiggle that down. This is quite a good string for this. As soon as we found this, I said, aha, we'll keep that, because it's kind of tough, but even with a bit of cotton, it's not an issue. Sometimes you maybe need to give it a shake, because static with cotton, it's quite light, so a static can just stick it to the side. So a few shakes will get that out the bottom. All right, so now you've got a continuous thing all the way through the tank. Once you've done that, put your first of your two rubber seals onto there and push that right over the threads all the way down so it's seated on the little lip right at the very bottom. And then I'm going to thread that onto there. Okay, so your threads are facing down the string, and you're going to let that go into the tank. And here's the fun bit. And that'll wiggle that all the way out whilst trying to keep it sort of tight. And eventually she's there. So now I've got that there. Don't let this string go. In case you let go of it again, then you don't have to mess about doing all that again. Now remember that you go in the opposite way because you're screwing in from the inside. So you want to go lefty-tighty, all right? Now we've got that. It's not all the way in, but it's enough to get rid of that, so we're not tangling ourselves up with it. Do try not to slip with your pliers when you're doing this bit, just because you're going to mark this, and obviously that's going to reduce the seal, you know, how good the seal is when you put your rubber on later. Not this rubber, but the fuel line rubber. Put your second rubber seal on. And you're not. Again, to tighten this up, spanner on there, pliers or grips or anything on there, and get that nice and tight. So there you go, it's literally as easy as that. A bit of cotton, bit of string, anything like that is going to do it. I hope that's helped you. If you think that has helped you, or you might think that it might help somebody else, please consider sharing the video. Drop me a comment in the comment section. I'm going to put a link up at either side. Please consider subscribing to the channel, it means a lot to us. And there'll also be a link to subscribe to Stearman's on Tour, our Van Venture channel, up there as well. That's all from me, and we'll see you in the next video.